there, friends. Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library. And I've got Zephyr with me here today, and we are going to talk about a thriller that we just recently read that is absolutely phenomenal. So we're in spring now, right? The weather's starting to get warmer. If you're in Michigan like I am, the weather is starting to go up and down and be really crazy like it always does in spring. But we are getting some warm days finally. And as you may or may not know, for me, that is my favorite time of the year to read thrillers, is once it starts getting warm in the summer, all throughout, or the spring, and then all throughout the summer, I just cannot get enough thrillers. I just think it's the best time of year to read them. Obviously, you can read them and enjoy them whenever you like, but for me personally, I always ramp up the amount of thrillers I start to read beginning in the spring. So I picked up this one thriller recently that I was intrigued about, and I absolutely loved it. So I was really excited to share it with you guys today. And this book is called Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. Now, this is a pretty well-renowned author. I have actually not read anything by her before this book. This book is not even a new book. It came out in, I believe, 2021. And she's written a bunch of other titles too. Some of them are, let's see, The Good Girl, Every Last Lie, When the Lights Go Out, Just the Nicest Couple. So she writes a lot of domestic thrillers. And she's a pretty renowned author, but like I said, this was the first one that I've ever read by her. And just to be shallow for a moment, the reason I was drawn to this book is because this is a re-release of the original story, and look at, I'm obsessed with the way that the words on the title match the beautiful page edges, and it's got really cool end papers. So if you are a fan of this author, they do have a really nice new edition that just came out of it, and it's phenomenal. So first things first, when I read this book, did I like it enough to want to read some of her other works? Absolutely. Is this the best thriller I've ever read? No, it's not enough to propel her into like my favorite author territory for thrillers, but it's enough to be like, okay, I really like her writing. I'm going to check out the rest of her work now, which I think is pretty exciting. I think that is just one of the best feelings in the world, is when you discover a new to you author and you love them and you're like, oh my gosh, now I have this backlog of books that I can go and read from them. And that's just such a fun feeling. So anyway, yes, this book is, I think, really awesome. It's a standalone story, so you don't have to have read anything by her before, but it's a good jumping off point. If you're looking for a new author to read that writes really good thrillers, give her a shot. So what is this book about? So this book is about local woman missing, but it's more than that, obviously. So there's actually a couple missing people in this story. So the first one is this woman named Shelby, who has gone missing from this neighborhood, this regular, ordinary neighborhood. And then not too long after that, a mother and a daughter go missing. Meredith and her daughter Delilah go missing from just a couple blocks away that they live. So all this community is completely shaken up. So you've got Shelby missing, you've got Meredith and her daughter Delilah missing, and the whole community is shocked. Well, not too long after this, Delilah, the daughter, is found. And the mother is still not found, and Shelby is still not found, but Delilah is found. And as the police and the family are trying to like figure out, okay, what happened to Delilah? Where has she been? What's been happening to her? There's whole other darker underbelly comes out, and all these secrets come out. And obviously, because it's a thriller, there are tons of twists and turns. There's a couple in this book, actually, and they hit you right getting towards the end. There's one, and then there's another one almost right after that. I didn't guess either of them. Now, again, I am really notorious for it not being able to accurately guess the ends of thrillers. I'm really bad about it, but hey, that just makes it even more enjoyable for me because I get my mind blown every time I read one, right? But even so, despite me not getting it, I think that they're really well done. I thought that the one twist that we got was it, and then they hit you with another one, and you're like, oh my gosh, before you can even recover for the first one. And it's also not very long. I want to say it's like maybe a little over 300, yeah, like 330 pages, so it's a fast read. I'm pretty sure I read it in like 1 or 2 days. I just blew through it. And the other thing about it that I really liked is that you get a lot of different points of view from this book. So the immediate beginning chapter, like the prologue, is actually Shelby's point of view from the night she goes missing. Then after that, you get points of view throughout the book it goes back and forth between Meredith in the days leading up to her disappearance. You also get the point of view from Kate, who is one of the neighbors, and she is really the protagonist of the story because she is she is living in this neighborhood and friends with Meredith and her husband, and really like trying to figure out what happened to her and her daughter. And so you get points of view from Kate, the neighbor, and you also get points of view from Leo, who is Delilah's brother. So the brother of the girl and mother who were kidnapped. And it's incredible because you're seeing things from points of view from people that you don't normally in these types of books. So normally in these types of books, you've got like the two main characters or somebody who's missing and maybe their point of view, but you're getting a point of view from a different family member and of a neighbor. And I thought that was really cool because it made you able to look at the situation and these missing people at like a lot of different points that you might not have been able to from just one or even 2 points of view. So I thought this book was amazing. I loved it. Like I said, I really want to go back and read some of her other books now because I think that she's a great writer and I enjoy the twists and turns, and I love me a good thriller, especially right, you know, this time of year when the weather starts getting warm. So if you're looking for a new author that you haven't tried before, I highly recommend her. And even if you've read her stuff before and maybe haven't picked this one up yet, this is a great book, and I think you should read it because it's got a lot of really great, aspects in it to make it super enjoyable. Local Woman Missing. Well, that's what I've got for you guys today. I hope that this book sounds really awesome and that you want to give her, the author, a try or give this book a try. If so, please feel free to come check it out from Farmington Community Library. And also thank you very, very much for watching, friends, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.